Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Got my co-host here, Juno. Join us for this new video. It's going to be part number 4 of the Mega Folder series in my collection. And like I've said in previous videos, I want all you guys to like and share this video on as many formats that you could think of, so we can get the message out about how much we love our mega folders. This one's going to be Counterpoint XLs and Ti-Lite 6s. My favorite ones that are in my collection. What you think, Gino? Ready to do this video? Ready to get this party started? What do you want to start with? Counterpoints or Ti-Lites? Here, I'll let you pick. Counterpoints or Ti-Lites? Which one do you want to do? Okay, it's going to be counterpoints. Counterpoints, people. Let's start off with the counterpoints. Juno wants the counterpoints first. Okay, first up, let's start down here. I think this is one of my oldest ones. Let me see, make sure. Yes, it is. This one right here is the Oz 8. Oz 8 version. And that's the way that they originally came, with the smooth handles, like this, the smooth handles. It has a 6061 aluminum backspacer. That's my girl. That's my girl. Oz 8 bayonet style blade. Full heat treated stainless steel line. Not stainless steel, but aluminum 6061 liners. This one's totally stock. It's not modified at all. This is what you would have got when these first came out. The blade thickness is 4 millimeters. It's really like about 3.8, 3.9, somewhere around there. It's got a saber ground blade. I know they advertise these being hollow ground, but I would call it a saber ground bayonet blade. If it's hollow, it's got extremely slight hollow. It's supposed to be a 6-inch blade. The advertisement is a 6-inch blade, but it's actually a little bit short of 6 inches. It's like 5 6/8 or 7/8, something like that. Absolutely love them. All right, sweetie, why don't you get down? Why don't you get down there, kiddo? Oh, that's my sweetie. That's my Juno. Now in this one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to open them up all these up, because there's a lot of them. Let's give it a shot though. You have to have some of them hanging off the table. I have to worry about Juno jumping up on here. Okay. Let's see if we can figure this out. Next one up. Which one is this? Oh, this is the Oz 10A. This is a newer one. It's one of the ones I swapped the handles with, because these came with these kind of handles. I think I swapped the handles with my BD1 one. The one that I had, this BD1. This one right here, the one that's polished. Because I wanted the grippier handle scales on it. My BD1 originally had the smooth handle scales. That's what this is. So this one's all stock except for the handle scales. It's not modified or anything like that. It's all stock except for the handle scales. Well, I take it back. This one's been internally polished. I polished this one. I can see the lock bar's polished and the liners are polished. Better than that. So I can't remember it. I've had this one for a long time, people. Yeah, this has been modified a little bit. It's too fast. Originally, when these are new, they're not super fast. And that's the reason why I always polish the internals on them and the lock bars and stuff, again, to be a little bit faster, and the bronze phosphor washers. Yeah, this one's been a little bit modified. It looks stock on the outside, but internally it's not stock. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about. You can see that's been polished all in the internals. It's got all the same specs as the first one. It's got a 3.8 millimeter blade. They call it a 4 millimeter. It's really like a 3.8. It's got 6061 aluminum backspacer. The lock bar on this one, I didn't polish the outside, but I did polish the inside of it. So I polished, yep, I could tell I polished it all on the, polished everything except for the outside. I was probably trying to keep it looking stock. That's probably my motivation with it. I just wanted it to function better. Absolutely love these. These are some awesome blades, people. Counterpoints are one of my favorites. All-time favorites from Cold Steel. And this one's totally stock. I don't know if you can see the difference, but this one hasn't been polished at all on the inside. So that one's totally stock. And I had another Oz 8 one, and I ended up messing it up because I was hand twirling it and it fell and it hit the pavement and the tip got blunted. And so what I did is I reground the blade and I tried to make it like a dagger grind. It didn't come out exactly the way I wanted, but it's still in my collection. It's just not out here because I didn't want to. Oh, sweetie, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Got too many blades up here now. And so it's not being displayed. This one right here. Oh, this is the new one. Oz 10A with the serrated edge. That's the new one with the serrated edge. This one's totally stock. It hasn't been modified at all. You can see on the inside nothing's polished. The only thing I did with this one was tune it and lube it with my Militech one gun grease and oil. But the new ones, though, unlike the older ones, it's one of the things I like about some of the new knives that are coming from GSM is that they're finishing them a little bit better. Because on the older ones, you had to go into them and like polish up the lock bars and you know, smooth things out a little bit, deburr it and stuff like that, because they always came with some burrs and they were they didn't have like lock stick, but they were just like really hard to open and close because the spring tension was super tight. You gotta get down, kiddo. Gotta get down in this one, kiddo. Now, once you get hurt with all these blades. But the new ones, these new ones really, at least this one, this is the only new one I've got. Watch out, see the blade? No, sweetie, don't jump up on the table, okay? Don't jump up on the table. Mm-hmm. But you gonna keep trying to jump up on the table? Huh? Grandpa doesn't want you jumping up on the table, sweetie, with all these blades out. Maybe I should point him this way, huh? Let's do that. Because I know you're going to continue to try to jump up on the table. I know my little girl. She always likes to be in the videos. She makes sure she's in, because Juno's a bossy one. Juno runs this house. She just lets me think I run it. Juno's the real boss. That's my sweetie. Where was I at? But the new ones, they operate really nicely. At least this one does. This one came to me and it's like perfect. It functions perfectly. I like the grinds on it, the blade grinds, everything's perfect on it. So I don't know if they had the people at the factory to pay a little bit more attention to detail to get them to run a little bit smoother. I wish they did that on the original Tower Wars. Maybe that's the reason why they did it, though. Because this is a new one for this year. So maybe they cracked down on people at the factory a little bit more to make sure that the quality control is a little bit better. But this one's excellent. This is an excellent knife right here. Now, I can't say that all of them are going to be like that because, you know, they are factory knives. And so, you know, sometimes in factory knives, sometimes, you know, a few will slip through that won't be perfect, but this one was a perfect one. Next one up is the one I really modified. It's been polished. This is the one I carry. If I want to carry one, this is the one I always carry, my BD1 one. This is a CTS BD1. It's my favorite one out the bunch. I even like it more than my new one. Even though this one, the reason why I got so radically modified, because this was like the stiffest one to open and stuff. And I had to do a whole lot of work to get to make it work the way I want it to. But I got it to the point now where it's like butter. You don't hear no noise, no lock stick or anything. It operates like butter. And so this one is my favorite. Always the ones I put the most effort in always end up being the ones I like the best anyway. Just like motorcycles or anything else, the ones that you modify the most and you do the most work on yourself, those are always the ones that you're always the most proud of. And this is the one I've done the most work on. Absolutely love it. All the same specs, only it's got CTS BD1. CTS BD1 on steel. All right, next one up. Let's get into these. These are all the higher end models. And what I mean by the higher end models, they're the models that had the either a 7075 aluminum, aircraft grade aluminum handle scales or frames or whatever, or G10. I have two G10 ones. This is the one that I've carried. And that's the one that was out anyway, so I decided to use that one. The other one's a little bit nicer because it doesn't have any flaws. This one has a couple flaws from just me carrying, just handling flaws from being carried. I love you, kiddo. I'll see you. That's my co-host. That's my co-host. That's right. You're going to get to see yourself in the video. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's my girl. First up, oh, there she goes. There she goes. First up is the one that I like the best. Why? Because, as you can tell, I put the most work into it. And which one is this? This is number 154. It's a Lindsey Thompson collector that I modified with a different handle and all that kind of stuff. And it's been in a lot of my videos. And it's one of my favorites. I carry this one a lot. This one is one of the ones I carry a lot. Okay, sweetie, you can't sit up here, sweetie. Now get down. 154. These handles are extremely hard to polish because these are coated with the EDP plating, and it really bonds to the metal, almost like a DLC. It bonds really good. So it takes a lot of work to get this finish off, and I don't recommend it for kicks, for shits and giggles. It took a long time for me to get this one to look like this. Because after you get the coating off, then you got to sand everything all down, get it all smooth. And then you got to, sand it to the point where, you get like about 3,000 grit and get it all, then you got to polish it all out. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to make this knife. This knife, if you wanted to buy it or buy one like this, have somebody make it for you, it would be expensive because it takes a lot of labor. And me, I do everything by hand, so it really takes a lot of labor. This would be a very expensive knife. If somebody's going to charge you, let's say $50 an hour to make it, this one took weeks to make. But, I'm sure if you have all the modern machinery and stuff where you could do stuff like this, then you could probably do it a lot faster. But this was done by hand. I did this by hand. And it's been totally polished. Inside and out. It's my favorite. That's why I put a special blade on it. With all the work I put into these handles, I felt like it deserved a very special blade. So I put the Lindsey Thompson Filipino Kris on it. When these first came out, this is a 440C blade. 440C. Stainless steel blade. So let's put this one this way too, in case Juno jumps up here. So going to stay on the table. Next up is another one that I started to do like that. And this one has my original blade that from my very first Ti-Lite that I got back in, I don't know, like, I want to say 2008 or 2009, something like that, when they first started making Ti-Lites. And this knife blade is special to me because it's when I was in the last motorcycle club I was in, it was a knife I carried all the time when I was on prospect. And the reason why it's totally polished is because it had a lot of use and been damaged several times, and each time I repaired the blade. It got to the point where it's just totally polished. Absolutely love it. This blade's got a lot of memories to me. This handle, on the other hand, this handle came off an eBay special that I found on eBay. It was a beat up Ti-Lite, Ti-Lite 6 with the 7075 aluminum handles. It didn't look like this, because I originally wanted to polish this one out like I did this, and I just got tired of working at it, and so then I just sort of stopped. And I said, I sort of like it like this because it has like a like a pocket worn look to it, so it looked like somebody had been carrying it for a lot of years or something. You know what I mean? And so I just sanded it down smooth like this, and then polished it out like this, and kept it like that instead of going any further and getting it to this point. Like I said, it's a lot of work to get these, because 7075 aluminum, number one, is a real hard aluminum. It's harder than 6061. And on top of that, the EDP plating is a plating that like really, really bonds. These won't scratch easy and stuff like that. They'll get like a worn look, but they won't have it's not like a paint. It's totally different. It's more like a DLC finish, where DLC coating is extremely hard to remove too. I've tried to remove that on one of my blades too. I gave up on it. And stopped on that one too, because it just got too exhausting, too tiring. Now if I had like machines and stuff like that, I'm doing everything by hand. And like on the real hard coatings like EDP. I think it's electric discharge plating. I think that's what it's called, electric discharge plating, or diamond light finishes, DLC. Those two finishes are extremely hard to get off a metal. At least the way cold steel did them, it's like really hard. It's not a paint. It's not like a painted on finish. It's totally different. But this one originally came from a knife with a handle like this. This is the original kind of Ti-Lites. They're originally like this for the Ti-Lite 6s. Okay, sweetie. You're just determined to be on the table, aren't you? I could tell. You're just determined. Jump up on the table and you look at me. Aha! I got on the table again. Ha 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 ha. That's my sweetie. Yes, my sweetie. I know. You my sweetie. That's right. That's right. You're the boss. That's right. You're the boss. That's my girl. Juno in charge. That's right. You've been running things for 15 years, huh? You ain't no rookie at running things. That's right. That's my sweetie. Let me finish, though. Let me finish. Can I finish? Okay. Let me finish. Oh, you want me to do this one next? Okay, I'll do this one next. How's that? That'll be okay? I'll do this one next. Okay. This one right here is an Oz 8A. This is what this one would originally look like. And this is the plating I'm telling you guys about, the electric discharge plating. That's the way they came. This is Oz 8. This is the first generation of them, with the 7075 aluminum handles. It's a real nice plating. It looks really nice. And they had the electric discharge plating on the blades too. That's not a bead blasted finish. That's the electric discharge plating finish. It's just a lighter color finish. So these have real nice finishes on them. These have all the all the Ti-Lites have 4mm thick blades. They're they're pretty much a right hand knife. They're not set up for left-handed people, which kind of sucks, because I think they should have made these with left hand, for lefties also. But they're, it's pretty much a right hand knife, right hand to unlock it. And they only got one thumb stud, and it's on the right side. This one I bought just to be a collector. So it's never been used or carried. It's just like a brand new knife. Bayonet blade. 7075 aluminum handle. And one of the things that makes these so great is that they have a folded over liner lock. It's one of the reasons why these liner locks are strong. They completely encompass the blade tang, and when they do fail, they fail locked open. They go into locked blade mode. This will move all the way over, and it'll get stuck. That's how I've seen these fail. So it doesn't fold back in on your hand. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It'll be folded out where you have to take it apart to fix it. And if you do, one drawback to these though is that if you do play with them too much, they will develop a slight up and down tick. Like this one has just a tiny, like you just barely feel it up and down tick. But this one was one that got carried every day for about 3 years or something like that. It was carried every day, and it was played with every day by all my friends and people I was in the club with. My president of the club, he ended up liking this one so much that he wanted me to make him one, so I made him one also. Not with this kind of handle though. It was with these handles, the original Zytel handles. But he liked it the way I modded them, where I can make where they would open really quick and everything else like that. Absolutely beautiful knives, people. Highly recommend these for people who like stilettos. Oh, which I picked up the next one. This is a CTS-XHP. I'm sorry. This one right here is a CTS-XHP. I got one in each blade steel. One in Oz 8, one in CTS-XHP, and the other one's an S35VN. This is the CTS-XHP one. I bought these just to collect though, just because I want one in each blade steel. Each time they came out with a different blade steel. That's why I have so many of these out here, just to show you all the different blade steels. And this one is the S35VN, and see they went to labeling up here instead of labeling down the blade tang for the CPM S35VN ones. Other than that, it's made exactly the same way. These have a Zytel backspacer. The backspacer is really just it doesn't really do anything for the knife. It's not there for any kind of springs or anything like that. The leaf spring is the other liner. It has two steel liners, and then the scales are 7075 aluminum with the 4mm thick blade, set up for a right-hand carry. A right-handed person, right-hand carry. It doesn't even have a pocket clip points on this side. It's really a right-handed knife. These all have the bayonet blades. Let me see if I'm going to be able to pull these up here. Have to make space for them. And this one right here is one that I've carried a lot too. This is the G10 version. It's made with the American G10 handle scales. It only has one stainless steel liner, and that's for the leaf spring, for the folded over leaf spring liner lock. All the rest of the handle is G10. And it's real thick G10. It's milled and contoured G10. I think this is like one of the first knives that Cold Steel made with milled and contoured G10 like this. And when these came out, they were supposed to be a limited series and they weren't going to make any more. And I bought two, one to collect and one to use. This is the user. You can see right there, it's got a little owie from me opening and closing it so much. Very nice. It's really clean. And this is CTS-XHP also. It has a DLC finish, DLC coated. And these were the most expensive ones. I don't know if they are still the most expensive ones, but at the time, these were the most expensive Ti-Lites you can get, were the G10 ones with the DLC finish. And they also made these in S35VN also, I think. I don't have the S35VN one. I just have the two CTS-XHP ones. Absolutely love it. And it's the lightest one too. I think it's the lightest one. I think it's lighter than these. We'll weigh them out just to make sure I'm giving you the right information. See if I can fit it on the table now. It's gonna be hard. These are my pokey blades. To me, the Counterpoint XL is like a Italian stiletto on steroids. That's the way I describe it. It's like a Italian stiletto on steroids. No, don't jump up on the table. No, no, no. No, no, no. I know you're determined to jump up on the table. I know. You want to be in the video. You can be right. Everybody can see you right there, sweetie. Everybody can see you right there. You don't have to get up on the table to be seen. You can hang out right there. Huh? You can say you want to be the center of attraction, huh? You want to be the center of attraction. But these are too many blades, though, sweetie. Too many blades on the table. Next one up. There she goes. She fixed the jump. I can feel it. I can feel the muscles getting to pull her up. All right, Grandpa knows what you're going to do. Grandpa knows what you're going to do. He knows you too well. He knows you better than you know yourself. This is the original handle style for the Zytel versions. Now these are Zytel, not Grivex. Oh, see, sweetie, you're gonna knock the knives off the table. I don't want to get stabbed by a knife if it gets knocked off the table. Don't have to worry about you. And that's the way that they originally came. And I sort of like these handles too. I think these look better though. But the thing that was cool about these is that you put your finger in here like this, and you have really good control. Really good control of the blade. So as far as function's concerned, I like the way that these function better. Because I like the fact that I can put my finger in here and I can really hold the blade. I don't know if you can see me doing that. But I can really hold the blade. I can really control the function of it. So you put your finger in there and it's like, bam. Whereas these are a little bit slipperier as far as that's concerned. But these were all the Oz 8 ones. Only still these came in was with Oz 8. So if you see, a lot of people make counterpoints in China of these. So and usually the blades were thinner, and you know they're not the same quality at all. And I don't know, they said that they had like 440 blades. These were never made with 440C with this kind of handle. So that's a big tip right there. And they never were blacked out or anything like that. They only came like this. So beware of the counterfeits. Ti-Lite 6s were extremely popular, and everybody tried to copy this style of knife. You know, a lot of Chinese manufacturers try to copy this style of knife. To me, this is the best stiletto in the world. Best folding stiletto in the world. I like this better than my Italian folding stilettos and switchblades. Because with these, you don't need these to be a switchblade because they open fast anyway. Just by using a thumb stud. These are some of the fastest opening thumb stud knives I've ever owned. So, you know, opening something with the thumb stud is completely legal. You can slow roll them, or you can snap them. It's a very good stiletto. And you also can wave these out your pocket. These quillions, well, you can catch them on the corner of your pocket as you open it up, and you can snag it. The way these are made, they snag like that, and then they open up on the way out of your pocket. Me, myself, I'm not a big fan of opening up knives like that. So I'd rather just pull them out of my pocket and open them when I'm ready to open them. But, it's nice to have that feature, though, if you do need to open something super quick in an emergency. Great front pocket knives. This was the next style of them, with the handles that were more like these handles. And I think these handles are the better looking handles between the two. These have been out of manufacture for a long time now, so it'd be pretty hard pressed to find a brand new one that are made like this. But these right here, to me, they're the better looking ones. Other than the handle scales, everything's the same though. You got the Zytel backspacer, Zytel scales, 4mm thick blade, really like a 3.8, 3.9, somewhere around in there. You got the folded over leaf spring. These are all Phil Bogzewski designs too. He's the one that designed the Ti-Lites for cold steel. The original Ti-Lites were only had a 4-inch blade. The very first ones before they even had the Ti-Lite 6s, and that came out in 2001. I have one of those left too. I used to have two, but I sold one to one of my buddies that I prospected with, Mouse, and they had titanium handles. Titanium everything except for the blade. But the bad thing about those though, with a titanium leaf spring, titanium doesn't wear like steel does. If you're going to have something for a leaf spring, for a liner lock or a frame lock, and there's no steel insert, no heat treated steel insert for it, that's not a very good setup if you ask me. Because what will happen is that titanium will wear down real fast, because your blade is a heat treated blade, and the steel is hard. And so when it bangs back and forth against that titanium, even if the titanium's heat treated, it's going to wear the titanium down, because titanium's a lot softer than steel is. And so what happens is you end up getting a lot of up and down blade play. The one I have, I never use it. I just collect it. Because they're very valuable as collectors, because they're the original ones. And I bought those in 2001. The only knives I had from Cold Steel before then were the Archangel balisons. I had a complete set of all 3 Archangel balisons, and I ended up selling those to somebody that kept hounding me to sell them to them. And then finally they came at me with an offer that I couldn't refuse, $1,800. And so I sold all 3 of them, $600 a piece. And I only paid $100 for them a piece. $110, I think it was. Because these knives back in the day, they were inexpensive. Titanium was, before titanium became expensive, titanium was commonly used in folding knives and stuff like that, the higher end folding knives, but it didn't really make the knife expensive, because titanium wasn't expensive. It didn't get expensive until like the mid to late 2000s. And then when that happened, if you had titanium knives, like I had Darryl Ralph Mad Max knives and Darryl Ralph stilettos, and those had solid titanium, milled titanium handles also. And those went from being like $100 and something knives to like $500, just because they were made out of titanium and they weren't being made no more. And that's why I sold those, because I needed the money, and there's like a lot of money for just a few knives. But those didn't have stainless steel inserts in them either, and they were frame lock knives. So if you were to use those would wear out too. The Phil Bogazuski knives had like titanium handles, and they're like beautiful, beautiful stilettos. He's no longer alive. He's the one that designed these for Cold Steel. Just like Andrew Demko designed the Triad lock for Cold Steel. He was working with Cold Steel for a minute. And he's the one that made all the Ti-Lite series knives. And his custom knives that you can buy, just like Andrew Demko's custom knives, they're very, very expensive. Like, I don't know, like $1,000 to $2,000. And you can still get some on Knife Joy. You know, every once in a while I see them on Knife Joy. Be careful, sweetie. No, kiddo. You can see them on Knife Joy, and you'll see them going for over $1,000, or near $1,000 or more, depending on condition. But to me, these are some of the best stilettos ever made. I like them better than like the Italian pick locks because they're strong. A liner lock made like this with the folded over leaf spring, heat treated steel leaf spring, is a lot stronger than a pick lock. And the blade steels that were used on these are a lot better than the blade steels that they use on the Italian stilettos. They actually use really good steels on these for the period of time. Down, sweetie. No, Juno. Down, kiddo. No jumping up on the table this time. Oh, you want to jump up on the table? I know you do. I know you do. Can't jump up on the table right now, sweetie. That's my girl. My tuxedo baby. That's my tuxedo girl, huh? That's my tuxedo granddaughter. Yes, she is. We just got done talking to your mommy, huh, on the phone. Yeah, we did. Okay. Next up, you just want your mommy to see you on the video, huh? Yeah, you want your mommy to see you on the video because you know your mommy's going to watch the video. That's right. Next up, this one is the one I did the handle swap with to make this one. I swapped the parts to make this one from this one. Originally this blade was on here. And this blade was originally on this one. So between these two, there's sort of like parts that came from these two, this one and this one to make this one. This one has a green Zytel back spacer. I like that. The OD green handle scales, all black hardware. The black hardware is just because it's from one of these. But it's a compilation of parts from different knives. And this is one I've carried a lot too. I don't know if you can tell by the pocket clip. This one's been carried a lot too. This one and this one are the ones that stay out. And I have another one. This one is another one that stays out too. This one right here. Absolutely love it, people. This one has the EDP plated blade, bayonet style blade, and this one is an Oz 8A. Oz 8A. Oz 8A. Now we're going to get into a little bit newer ones. This is one that was similar to this one. This is how this one looked originally. I'm talking about the blade that the knife came from. It came from a knife that looked just like this one. And what is this one? This is a collector's edition. Collector's edition, Lindsey Thompson. Lindsey Thompson, the collector edition. This one is number 57. That's why I didn't modify it. Because I have 3 of these, and the one that I modified was the one with the highest number. That was 154. I bought these pre-order when I first heard that they're going to come out. Why did I get these on pre-order? I got 3 because, you know me, I'm a Ti-Lite lover. Ti-Lites were like my first cold steel knives I really carried. Before the triads and all that, everything else came out, these are the ones I carried all the time. I always liked the tie-in stilettos before these, and then when these came out, I saw how sturdy they were and how well made they were and how good the steels were, I became a Ti-Lite person. I still carry them today. They're nice and lightweight. It's a mega folder that's like nice and very nice and lightweight. The only thing that's really lighter than this is the Frenzy. But this has a 6-inch blade. The Frenzy has a 5.5-inch blade. These are really easy to carry all day long. You forget that they're in your pocket. They can be waved out your pocket. I think these are awesome self-defense folders. And when something like this comes out your pocket and the person sees you, if they're trying to butt mess with you, lots of times they'll change their mind right away. You see their eyes open up and they say, oh shit, what did I get myself into? I think I might have messed with the wrong person. These are awesome knives. And they're balanced pretty nicely too. Little bit handle heavy, right about there. Awesome knives. And they have a lot of reach. Let's see what the reach is on them. You have a nice, safe, and secure rear grip too, because of the way that the handle's made. Almost 9 inches of reach. 8 3/4. 8 3/4 of reach. And the only knife that really cut me up really bad in my life was an AFCK Benchmade back in the day. I used to carry those too as my smaller knives. And it was a titanium liner lock. That's why I don't really care for titanium liner locks. You know, new ones have you'll find them with steel inserts in them now. But the old ones, they used to just make them with just plain old titanium against a hardened blade tang, and they'd wear out and they get developed a up and down play. But I still carried mine even though I had up and down play after I wore out. And finally got to the point where it just closed in on my hand and cut me all up. So that was the end of wanting to carry that. These were like the only liner locks I've ever carried since then. I've had lots of liner locks and lots of frame locks. I still have lots of liner locks and lots of frame locks in my collection. But the only ones I carry are these. Because these are the only ones I trust. Because with this folded over blade tang, and I've seen it the way that these will fail, they go into lock blade mode. I just trust them more than I do any other liner lock or frame lock. These were, we looked in the magazine the other day, these were able to hold 145 pounds. Liner locks usually fail before 100 pounds, like 80 pounds, 70 pounds, they usually fail over. A regular liner lock that's not folded over with like a 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter thick liner leaf spring, they usually fail like in between 50 and like 80 or 90 pounds. So, you know, 145 is very strong for a liner lock. I'll show you the signature Lindsey Thompson. And this is a Filipino Kris. It's 4 millimeters thick, or the 3.8 millimeter, whatever you want to call it. Cold Steel calls it 4 millimeter, but it's actually not 4 millimeter. I measured out just to show you what I'm talking about. The Ti-Lites have always been one of my very, very favorite knives, people. It's really like the only liner lock knife that I will carry. This says 3.81. And the advertised as being 4 millimeter. This one says 3.69. Let me zero it out. Zero it out again. Now it says 3.72. Just letting you know, it's not really 4 millimeters. Let's see what the weight is. Now the ones with the steel, the aluminum handles, those are heavy. This is one with the Zytel handle. 6.9 ounces. 6.9 ounces. Very light. The original one, 7.4 ounces. I think the Kris blade is just lighter. Let me see. 7.4 ounces. That's an old and new style. This is the one I modified with a bunch of different parts. 7.3. Just for giggles, let's see what this one is. This is just a regular model with this Oz 10A one. 7.1. That's interesting. And this is serrated. The one I carry now. 7.1. This one with the 440C blade. Oh, now it says 7.0. Okay. We haven't gotten to these yet, so I'm going to close them so I'll know that I haven't gotten to them yet. And counterpoint, 8.6. Is that the new counterpoint? Oh, the new one's right here. Wait, the new one. With the serrated blade, 8.4. I bet you that's because of the serrations. Let's compare it to the one I polished. 8.5. All right. So this one has the 440C blade. 440C blade. The only ones that had the 440C blades were the Lynn C. Thompson Specials. This one has a Japanese AUS 10A blade. These are like the ones you can get now. These aren't Lynn C. Thompson Specials. These are just regular ones. They're not numbered or anything. And this one has, I think you call it the dark earth or brown handle scales. Dark earth or brown handle scales. Zytel handle scales and Zytel backspacer. Nice looking setup. With the Japanese Oz 10 blade. 3.8 millimeter blade. Advertises 4 millimeter. This one's totally stock. It's never been used. Filipino Kris. And my last Filipino Kris, this is my newest one also. I just recently got this one not too long ago. And this one's an Oz 10A, Japanese Oz 10A, with the serrations. I absolutely love this one because this one's wicked. This one's wicked. This is probably my favorite one right now. Well, actually, no, this one's my favorite one. This is my favorite. These I love these two right here, but this is the one I carry the most. If I'm going to carry one nowadays, this would be my favorite to carry. Let me put it that way. I like carrying these more than the aluminum handle ones because they're light, as opposed to aluminum handle ones. Did we weigh out aluminum handle one? I don't know if we weighed that out. Let me weigh that out real quick. Can't remember if we weighed one out. Here's my modified one. 8.7 ounces. The heaviest knife on the table so far. Here's the one with the old blade on it. 9 ounces. That one weighs 9 ounces because I'm sure this blade weighs more than that blade. And let's pick one of these. Oh, we didn't weigh the G10 one either, huh? This is 7075 aluminum stock one. Let's see, it's over 9 ounces. 9.1 ounces. 9.1. See what the different models were. 9.1. 9.2. 9.1. So all the 7075 aluminum ones, regardless of the blade steel, they all weigh 9.1 ounces. Here's the G10 one. 7.0. So it's the same weight as, which one? The one weighed 7.0? Was it this one? 7. Oh no, it's a Kris blade, huh? 6.9, saying 6.9 again. So the Kris blade beats it out. The lightest one was the Kris blade. These are the two lightest ones. Now, if this one had a Kris blade, it would be lighter than this one because these blades are heavier than the Kris blade. Absolutely love it. This is my favorite right now, though. This is the one I like to carry the most right now. What did this one weigh again? Let me weigh this one again. I'm sorry, people. $7.1. It weighs more than this one. Huh. I thought it might weigh less because of serrations. That's why I wanted to weigh it real quick. It feels super light. These are handle heavy. Back to about right there. That's about where your grip should be too, though. So that's okay, actually. Absolutely love this one. My two new serrated blades. I like what nephew said in Hawaii. Put serrations on the Espadas and the Espada XLs and the Voyager with the Kris blade. That's a good idea to me. I like having the choice between the serrated ones and non-serrated ones. To me, serrated ones, traditionally for me, have been like wintertime knives. I would carry during the winter when everybody's wearing thicker clothing in case I had to use it, because lots of times a plain edge will bounce off of like leather jackets and thick clothing, whereas this will cut through it and still do damage to flesh. Absolutely love these people. This is number 4. Next is going to be the bonus video. And I might do 2 bonus videos because I got a lot of bonus knives in the bonus video. They're all the Megas that I don't carry. And you could probably, you guys, like you guys who really know your cold steels, you could probably guess which ones they're going to be because you know what Megas are left. So you probably know which ones they're going to be. All right, people. Absolutely love this knife. I think these are some of the coolest ones of cold steel made with these blades. And I think this one originally had black handles. I mean, not black handles, but it might have been dark earth. And I think I swapped handles out with another, because I got some more of these too. These aren't all of mine, but I have some more ones that are like doubles of these other ones. And I think I made this one all black. I think originally it came with the dark earth handles, like this. I'm pretty sure it did. I won't swear to it because I did a long time ago. I think I made it black. Because I think it originally had the brown handle with the brown back spacer. So this is not like an all-stock knife, I don't think. You might be able to get them like this now, though. But when these first came out, I think they had the brown handles. But basically, other than that, though, it's a stock knife that's just been tuned and lubed. Nothing's been polished on it or anything like that. Just been tuned and lubed. All right, people. Well, what do you think, Juno? Don't jump up on here this way. Come over here, kiddo. Come over here. Come over here. Yeah, it's my girl. Want to jump up? Huh? Want to jump up? Okay. Yeah, it's my girl. Yes, my girl. Want to say bye to everybody? Want to say bye to your mommy? Because you know your mommy's going to see this one. She's going to get mad at you walking on all these blades like that, though. All right. All right, people. Well, we'll catch you on the next one. Stay tuned. It's going to be a fun one, too. The bonus one. The bonus mega folder video. Might end up being 2 bonus videos. All right. Peace out. Stiletto.